The House on Mango Street by Sandra Cisneros. The House on Mango Street covers a year in the life of Esperanza, a Mexican-American girl, also known as Chicana, who is about 12 years old when the novel begins. During the year, she moves with her family into a house on Mango Street. The house is a huge improvement from the family's previous apartment, and it is the first home her parents actually own. However, the house is not what Esperanza has dreamed of, because it is run down and small. The house is in the center of a crowded Latino neighborhood in Chicago, a city where many of the poor areas are racially segregated. Esperanza does not have any privacy, and she resolves that she will someday leave Mango Street and have a house all her own. Esperanza matures significantly during the year, both sexually and emotionally. The novel charts her life as she makes friends, grows hips, develops her first crush, endures sexual assault, and begins to write as a way of expressing herself and as a way to escape the neighborhood. The novel also includes the story of many of Esperanza's neighbors, giving a full picture of the neighborhood and showing the many possible paths Esperanza may follow in the future. After moving to the house, Esperanza quickly becomes friends with Lucy and Rachel, two Chicana girls who live across the street. The girls are entering puberty and sometimes find themselves sexually at risk, such as when they walk around the neighborhood in high-heeled shoes or when Esperanza is kissed by an old man at her first job. At school, Esperanza feels ashamed about her family's poverty and her difficult-to-pronounce name. Over the summer, Esperanza slips into puberty. She suddenly likes it when boys watch her dance, and she enjoys dreaming about them. Esperanza's newfound sexual maturity, combined with the death of two of her family members, bring her closer to the world of adults. During the beginning of the following school year, Esperanza meets Sally, a girl her age, who is more sexually mature than Lucy or Rachel. Sally uses boys and men as an escape route from her abusive father. Esperanza is not completely comfortable with Sally's sexual experience, and their friendship results in a crisis when Sally leaves Esperanza alone and a group of boys sexually assaults Esperanza in her absence. When Esperanza finds herself emotionally ready to leave the neighborhood, she discovers that she will never fully be able to leave Mango Street behind, and that after she leaves, she will have to return to help women she has left. At the end of the year, Esperanza remains on Mango Street, but she has matured extensively. She has a stronger desire to leave and understands that writing will help her put distance between herself and her situation.
The book of Mango Street brings light into the sexualization of women and how they are pretty much looked as objects for men. From the beginning of the book, it talks about how the main character, Esperanza, and her neighbors tried on high heels for the first time, and they were sexualized because of them, getting catcalled and told that the shoes were dangerous to be wearing, boys saying, "Ladies, lead me to heaven," and men asking them, "If I gave you $1, would you give me a kiss?" All of this because of some shoes that they happened to be wearing, that they tried on just for fun. This is something that really touched me because it is something that still goes on because of what people are wearing, which isn't right. Also has a connection to the Me Too movement. For those who don't know, the Me Too movement is a movement against sexual assault and harassment. It encourages victims to come out and get justice for what has happened to them. In the book, Esperanza talks about an incident that happened to her at a carnival, where a man forces himself onto her and no one says anything to stop it. I wanted to bring this up because in today's world, things like this are still happening. People are going up onto other people and sexually assaulting them, yet nobody says anything and they turn a blind eye to what's happening around them. Some of the times people say that it's because of what the women are wearing or who they are, but women can't change who they are, and women should be allowed to choose what they wear. Women are powerful and shouldn't be belittled by the sexualization that they are objects for men when they are not.
The House on Mango Street gives us an amazing insight on what it is like to grow up in an underprivileged area. Throughout the book, Esperanza takes us through her childhood and into adolescence. She shows us the struggles that she has to face as a young woman. The experiences that Esperanza goes through with males in the book are unfortunately experiences that many women can relate to. Whether it's someone forcing you to dance even when you don't want to, catcalling, or even men forcing themselves onto you. These are all issues that need to be brought to light and be dealt with. This book highlights the feelings a person goes through when they know something is wrong, but they have no idea how to get it out and tell someone about it. This is a problem that can exist in a classroom, sports team, or in an office. If there is something that we should take away from this book, it is that speaking up should be something that nobody is afraid of doing.
The House on Mango Street is a novel that is all about short stories. But in those short stories, it talks about physical and sexual assault, and even discrimination between races. This book explains the culture of the Latinx community and really opens the eyes of the audience who is reading. It is important to discuss these topics in a classroom setting because it is good to make younger generations more aware of the activities that happen, so that way we could possibly put a yield on all of the discrimination and inequality that occurs within our society. In this book, it explains that there is a lot of demeaning stereotypes that are put onto people who do not deserve it. If every teacher taught their students about how important it is to not label anyone and treat everyone with respect and dignity, this world would be a much better place. And that is why I believe we should all speak up for equality between races and talk about assault more often to make sure every one of our students is safe and is always ready to learn.